Let's go back into our document and let's work on the margins and the orientation and the physical page layout. Let's click on page layout, and you can see there in the page setup group we can even add margins. So if I click on the drop down arrow, we can have a last custom setting, we can have normal margins, wide margins, narrow margins. Let's click on wide margins, go to file, print for the print preview, and you see that the margin is quite wide at the top, the right, and at the bottom. Let's go back, and on our margins maybe let's change this to narrow. Go back into our backstage, click on print again. Can you see now that our margin is narrow? Let's go back and change our margins maybe to normal. Go back into backstage, click on print. See our margins are normal now. Let's click on the margins again, and you can even have custom margins where you can set on your margins tab how much you want your margins to appear. From here we can also go and we can look at the orientation of our document. For example, if we click on drop down for orientation, we can have portrait or we can have landscape view. Let's change it back to it's on portrait. Let's go file, let's go print. Can you see that the document has changed? Let's go out and go back into orientation, back into portrait, go back into our file, print. Can you see that the layout is back to portrait? We can also click on the size, and with the size we can really change our view in terms of what paper size do we want to use. A3, A4, A5, do you want to use letter? Normally set it to A4. There's a minimal of difference between letter and A4. The default is letter, United States. Here in South Africa we use A4. From there as well we can also go and we can look at our print area, and let's say for instance we're going to set our print area, highlight everything, and we set our print area. So now we go to file, into print. We've set our print area as well, and we go back into view, into page break preview. Remember previously we had the blue line which we fixed. We could have fixed it with by going to the page layout, by going with the print area. We can add page breaks. Let me just change this view back to normal, and then you can even add a background to your document. So let's work on offline. Let's add a file from there, and I'm just going to use my file. You can have a file that has a background there as well. Let's just undo that. So there's many things that you can do when setting up for your printing.